some really interesting decks that topped over the weekend. And today, Chad and I will be talking all about them. I actually think I knocked over something. My foot's wet now. Today, big dogs, not only will we be doing that, we'll also be talking about top techs and how you can improve your game. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all, big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. So by the time you guys get this video, hopefully, I am prepared for the game that is going to happen. The team that beat the brakes off of us a couple of weeks ago, we finally play again. In case you didn't know, it's my girls' flag football team. Guys, it would mean the world for you guys to wish us down below in the comment section the best of luck. And yes, somehow they found my YouTube, so it actually does help. And of course, you guys in the comment section, go ahead and give my girls some support. Send us your energy, because these girls that we're playing against, they're undefeated. Our job is to make them defeated today. Seem a little nervous? Nervous of what, big dog? I'm not nervous, I'm excited. I'm like a wolf looking at a piece of ham. Just like how you guys should be when I show you some awesome deck lists and give you the information on some really powerful Yu-Gi-Oh cards that players are playing. A card that has easily been one of the best cards in the room, stronger than Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring at certain times, is Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. Now, I've talked to you guys about Ghost Bell before. It's a crazy strong card against every single matchup. It hits yummy when the synchro monsters want to return back into the extra deck to summon yummy monsters from the graveyard. It also hits yummy surprise. It's good against Draco Tail from time to time when they want to summon their monsters from the graveyard, and then it can stop the trap cards, all of them, with this powerful card. It stops Mitsurugi prayers and monsters from summoning themselves back from the graveyard to the side of the field. It's good against K9 because it stops Lupus from summoning itself from the graveyard. This card just has way too many applications. I have seen a lot of Ghost Bell. Yeah, the card's actually crazy. Another great hand trap that players have been using is Droll and Lockbird. Droll is pretty good against Mitsurugi, but keep in mind it's a hit and miss. While it is great against those strategies, it's not as good against a smart K9 player or maybe even a pure yummy player. The card can be very boom or bust like, so players have been using it inside of their main board and side deck. It's excellent in Tafua. It is really good against Tafua. What are some cards that you guys have noticed have been really good, at least in your opinion? I don't know why, but Black Goat Laughs is just so nice, bro. Oh my god, yeah, you know you're right. Black Goat Laughs is a criminally underrated card, especially seeing that you can set it with cards like Triple Tactics Thrust or send it to the graveyard with Foolish Burial Goods. I think that the card is one of the best cards in the game. Dominance do go crazy? Brother, hold on, time out. You playing one of my favorite cards? Pedro's playing Songs of the Dominators, right, Pedro? Right? You're playing Dominus Spiral, right, Pedro? Pedro, wait, you really are? Also, don't forget Lava Golem is clutch, especially against Lunalite and K9 Kristan. You know what? You're going crazy. Lava Golem has been a really good card, especially if you don't need your normal summon. It can be a complete blowout against some of those top-heavy Yu-Gi-Oh strategies. Evenly is back in the format. It is. Evenly is crazy strong. Artifact Molnir has been an excellent card. It allows my op not to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Spin Dart, I'm gonna punch you in your face, man. You guys have had some excellent Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and if I were to wrap all of these cards up, I would say that the Solemn cards are really good. All of them. Seriously. Solemn Strike, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning, and Solemn Scolding, but not Solemn Wishes. Great Horn of Heaven is coming in clutch. Brother, I'm gonna let you cook with that one. Raigeki has also been a crazy good card. Yu-Gi-Oh decks don't have negates, so being able to just wipe their board no matter what is pretty good right now. Imagine having to see your opponent have a full Radiant Typhoon Runic board, then also setting Featherstorm. Bruce! Bro, go sit in this corner right here. You're banned. Where can I get the best sleeves? My brother, we're not talking about sleeves, but if we have to, Raven Wing version 4. Look, I'm gonna make you guys a deal, right? Y'all know Mrs. Brown, she's divorcing me and taking half. And by the way, half means Raven Wing. So in order to help me, help you, help me, I need y'all to go to TheCaliEffect.com and purchase your sleeves today. Mrs. Brown may have half of everything, including half of my wallet, half of the kids, the dog in the car in the house, but she won't have our pride in our sleeves. Pick up your sleeves today. Now we get to see some really cool Yu-Gi-Oh strategies and get some inspiration from them, like Sean Schneider's White Forest Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Keep in mind, this deck topped just 2 weeks ago, so it's still a fairly viable Yu-Gi-Oh deck. It is a 60 card board breaker approach Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and it seems really strong. It's playing cards like Raigeki to be able to break the board, and even has Sinful Spoil's Subversion Snake Eyes. This card's actually crazy strong. It says target one face-up monster on the field, place it in the owner's spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card. Essentially, this is one of the very few cards that can get rid of a monster on the field and like allows you to select. Outside of this, the only other cards that are generic are like Smashing Ground and Fissure. It's also playing my boy Black Goat Laughs and has triple tactics thrust to be able to set it. I think that's pretty cool. And as you guys already know how White Forest works, this Yu-Gi-Oh deck is the more spells you have, the more White Forest resolution cards you're gonna get. And the Kashtira engine is pretty good at being able to check those Yu-Gi-Oh decks that are reliant on those one cards in the extra deck. Salesman? Yo, Salesman is crazy. I like that Salesman can be used offensively and defensively. Like if you know you have like the perfect hand and a card like Nib and Droll are gonna be the cards to cook you, Salesman it. There was also the K9 Genesis Yu-Gi-Oh deck that got first place. Kamal Crooks did it. I didn't get to show you guys the list, so this is it. This is what had a lot of players up in arms. The reason why is because there's an artifact Molnir knock that pretty much prevents your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And during the YCS finals, he pretty much won using Floodgates. It was Floodgates, yes. It created a situation where a lot of people were up in arms saying Floodgates were very problematic. Almost like I said that a couple of months ago in a whole video addressing the whole situation. And it's almost like every time I make a ban list, I ban every Floodgate for a reason, guys. But, you know, what do I know? Now, from here, we did get a Genesis Invitational at YCS Sao Paulo. I know I'm butchering the name, but the only information we have is a Vanquished Soul winning yet again. And this is the list. The Vanquished Soul list, I'm not gonna lie, it's almost a crime that Vanquished Soul doesn't really cost anything. This is the second YCS Genesis format that Vanquished Soul has won. Though it hasn't dominated, it's kind of shown that this deck may be a little problematic. Personally, I think that Genesis format is starting to finally develop, and the big problem is we still have some of the problems of Link format. Yu-Gi-Oh decks are taking a little bit too long to pop off, and some of them are a little overtuned in comparison to their others. I mean, we have a deck like Vanquished Soul, which is really strong with no hits, and then we have a deck like Chimera, where they have Cornfield Quaddle at 33 apiece, and it never was a strong deck. Moving forward, there are actually quite a few events though that I really want to see some deck lists, guys, and I'll probably show them on stream. Take a look at this Boise Regional, guys. Look, my boys, we got Unchained Fiendsmith, Magical Musketeer Steel, Genesis, my dogs. You got DDD. There are so many decks, and I wish we could get the deck list. But let's go ahead and give a quick breakdown on YCS Brazil. There were 555 duelists here, guys. So a pretty decent amount. For the top 8, we have 5 Dracotel, 9 Yummy, 2 Malice, 2 Mitsurugi, which were known, 1 Blue Eyes, which we do have the deck list for, 1 Crystron, 1 Raizio, 1 Vanquished Soul, 1 Gem Knight, 1 Sky Striker, 8 Unknown. So these numbers can change depending on what happens. And Dracotel winning the whole thing is, I don't know, it's a little bit interesting. Let's go ahead and look at Joaquin Hoyahi's deck list. And this is a branded Dracotel deck. And, you know, I got some talking to do. I think in our last video, we talked about Dracotel potentially being frauds. And this YCS does go a long way to disproving that. Now, granted, as I said plenty of times before, Dracotel is my favorite deck from Justice Hunters, but that won't stop me from telling you what I think in the bold honest truth. The deck is very, very fair. But this Dracotel list is beyond solid, and I personally like the 2 Pawn and the 2 Urgula. I've been doing this for quite some time because I love the removal and the ability to get extra resources that these card effects provide. And I haven't really tested a lot with the new green one and the new trap card, and it's simply because I've just been playing way too much Genesis, but I genuinely like this version of the deck. Dracotel Branded isn't the only way to play the deck, but Dracotel Branded is pretty strong, right? It actually goes to show that a Yu-Gi-Oh deck that is isn't full of floodgates is fair. Here is a pure version of Dracotel that got top 4, so it means that the deck isn't far behind as a pure variant. And then one thing that you guys will probably always see is Ghost Bell somewhere in pretty much everyone's deck. The card's crazy. But this particular build relies on hand traps and of course the Light and Dark and Dragon package, which does allow you to play cards like Chaos Star Source and stuff. I think it's really cool. So while I can't find the Gym Knight profile that actually topped, this was a Gym Knight deck that topped not too long ago. This is the North American World Championship Qualifier by Anthony Zhu, and the only thing banned here is Paradise Smasher. The deck will probably still be closely related to this build. And then I have another build. This is an OCG build that you guys can take reference from. This guy's running Raigeki. He knows his sauce. Speaking of OCG decks for Dracotel, guys, this may be closer to what we're using. When we get the Spoon Seal of Majestus, which is coming out in the next Yu-Gi-Oh set, you might see players dropping the other versions of the deck to be able to play the Majestus engine, which does allow you to be able to have your Floodgate, right? Or they're not playing the Synchro Monster. The Synchro Monster is a Floodgate. I have a strong feeling that us Yu-Gi-Oh players will play the Synchro Monster and find a way to incorporate it into our deck to make that Floodgate. But these cards are pretty cool. I also just so happen to have the Sky Striker player that topped YCS Brazil, Vinicius de Oliveira Curcio. I'm butchering his name and I'm so sorry, but this is the deck list. We know that spell cards are really, really good, right? So it's no surprise that this deck is crazy. And this card's actually ridiculous too, guys. This card says, draw 2 cards. Then if you have a Radiant Typhoon or a quick play spell card in your hand, discard one of them, or you retire hand if you don't. Fortunately, Sky Striker has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spell cards that are quick play. So odds are, oh, and plus these 3. So odds are it's going to be able to just draw 2 free cards and put 2 spell cards in the graveyard. We have Blue Eyes Primite that topped, and this deck is pretty run-on-the-mill Blue Eyes, guys. And then there's Mistaken Arrest. Okay, once this deck pretty much sets up its search, it doesn't need to search again. For my boys that love Blue Eyes, this may be the deck for you. I think that this could actually be what you can consider playing if you are a Blue Eyes enthusiast. We know Mitsurugi Yumi is one of the stronger decks in the game. This is pretty much what players are playing. They are back to using hand traps like Droll and the Charmies and even Moltremy Meows, but they're still on their BS, chat. Dark Ruler Nomura has been like low-key an MVP for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, and I think if we get rid of Floodgates, cards like Dark Ruler Nomura become way better than hand traps. And lastly, we have a Dracotel, or I'm sorry, a Yummy Soulful Cord deck. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what the Soulful Cords do, guys. Bro, this seems like a really, really strong engine. Wait till you see Soulful Cord K9. Bruce, stop it. I really want to know what you guys think about what's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! What are some interesting decks that you saw or that you're playing? Go ahead and let us know down below in the comment section. And also, be sure to check out these videos so I can catch you on the next one.